Today I want to talk to you about one of the steps that it takes in order to pursue your dreams. I've always been an avid believer that I think it was Dave Ramsey once said this, that you're only as smart as the last book you read. And I believe that, because if you don't ever spend any time building your mind or your knowledge base, you're basically not able to make a step forward. So over the past several years, I dove into reading books. I'm not a big book reader. I don't necessarily have to make myself read anymore, but it's important to dive in headfirst into research and knowledge about the dream that you want to pursue. Even 20 years into ministry, with having the education, an elementary education as a school teacher, and then pursuing some degrees in ministry. I basically do that. I don't do it so I can have the little credentials after my name. I do it because it helps me to understand who God is in my life. So I want the last book that I read to be the next book that I'm going to read. And I always prepare ahead of time to I basically, on my bookshelf over here to my right, there are a list or a stack of books that I've yet to read and things that I'm going to get to, so that I always have a plan. But just because you have a degree, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have the knowledge to do it. I've always said I got my education in the School of Hard Knocks, life experiences and trial and error and failing, succeeding, with the people around me. So I want you to think about the desires or the dreams that you have on your heart. What do you need to know about where you're going to go? What research do you need? When we started Daring to Soar Ministries, actually it started before that with One Name Ministries, and then that turned into God Rocks Ministries, and that turned into, several years later, Daring to Soar Ministries. And we've thought about, should we incorporate ourselves? Should we register ourselves as a nonprofit from the government, which all costs money? There's all kinds of burning questions. But it's not incorporating yourself as a business in order to fulfill what God's plan for you. It's to share it with others and to bring other people along. Just as a last, suggestion for this little video, don't ever take for granted that you think you know everything that you need to know. As a guitar player, I remember when I first started, I was not necessarily, I wasn't very good. I knew a couple chords. Somebody let me play behind them, and over the years, I've gotten more skilled. But just because, I can play a certain way, I still buy videos, I still research things online, I still read books about worship, I still, attend concerts. I do everything in my possibility or in my power to better myself. As I teach my students, I try to teach them things that I wish I would have learned, so they would have the knowledge ahead of time. So as you're preparing for your dream or the desires on your heart, make sure that you dive in head first, regardless of what it is. If there's a financial thing to it, God will provide a way for you to financially to benefit from, some type of course or some type of internship or something. Because regardless of what it is, God's preparing you, He's moving you forward, and pray about it. That's the biggest thing I can do to suggest, is just pray about opportunities for you to lead and to grow into your dream. So until we talk next time, hopefully that's not too overwhelming of a statements. As Dr. Phil says, it is what it is, and we're just being yourself on video. So. All right, have a good one.